Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play series for Command Ops 2. Okay, episode 5 today I believe. As I mentioned in the last episode, I've played through until 7:05 AM. Not huge amount interesting happened through the night. You did get a whole bunch of movement happening though, which has been quite good. So, just run through what's happening. So, KG Kunkel hasn't really moved. This little engineer unit's still being a pest, though we're slowly whistling it away. So, hopefully that won't be stuck around for too much longer. The rest of the KG Kunkel is moving. All of the artillery units are now in position over here, which is nice and good because they've you can see we've got some good range on them now, which is really good. We did briefly lose this objective here, the Wadingen objective, from this little unit coming in here, but I'm not too worried about that. We should be able to beat that unit back once daylight fully comes through. Where else are we? So Holtman's completely in position. We're getting some, as you can see, some sporadic attacks from the north up here. I'm not too worried. It doesn't look like any major reinforcements have come. Just some odd units here and there. So Holtman's completely there. I've actually allowed these guys to rest for a few hours. The same with KG Gutman. They're resting as well, though they've had some attacks and stuff here. 901st is moving. Where are they? There's 901st. So 901st is nearly in position, not too far away. 902nd started moving a couple of hours ago, and they're sort of getting a fair way along to their new spot over here. So that is quite good. What else have we done? Moved these artillery down here. What else did we do? Oh, we're going to move the 26th Panzer Division HQ just down to Constam down here. It's not too much to worry about. They've just got a few sort of attached units. Nothing really all that exciting. What else? We moved our headquarters. Our headquarters finished arriving here, which has been good. So that reduced our force delay timing a little bit. Going to move these artillery units really quite soon. Probably one of the first things we'll do this morning. Move them probably around here actually, because then they'll have a bit of protection from these couple of units. So we moved the 2nd Panzer Division forward, and that was because we're moving KG Koschenhausen. I'm actually going to put them here for the moment. But the plan is, these are going to be sort of our northern guard, just in case there's any reinforcements or problems in this area, this sort of top area. I'm going to leave probably KG Koschenhausen in this area. Then once we move out our 3 probably main regiments down this way, plus the 902nd if they get there, then we'll have a bit of a screen up north up here, just to make sure nothing goes wrong. And then sort of, in the next day, if nothing really happens, I'll probably start moving them down towards Bastogne as well. We'll see how that goes. I think that's pretty much everything, guys. I think that's everything that happened during the night. Nothing else really super exciting happened. So a few regiments, battalions here and there, which I'll probably start moving out, like the 77th here. I think I'm going to move them. I think I'll link them. I'll reattach this battalion here, and then move the regimental HQ and the other battalion over to join up with these guys. And that's probably a good thing to do. So I'll do that now. So we'll reattach. Reattach this unit to the regimental HQ. I'll move these guys all over to here. And get them to face out this way. So it'll be another smaller regiment, just an infantry smaller regiment there, which should be in position, which should be good. We'll go quickest route, and everything else needs to be stock standard. They can deal with that. Yes, that should be good. So we do have the 78th Regiment here with 2 battalions. I think we'll probably leave them just in this area just for the moment. There's no real need to move them yet. Yeah, but we'll just see how that goes. So as you can see, the visibility is just increased because we're now at dawn, so that's why there's a whole stack of firing coming on. Because this seems to happen, the AI gets quite close during the night, and then once daylight comes, we get the range back on our defensive units, and they sort of get hit quite hard. A couple of units here though, I've just noticed these ones, so it could be a bit of a problem. So there's a battalion there, looks like an armoured battalion HQ. M4 Sherman, so they could be reinforcements. A little bit paranoid about the reinforcements, guys. I felt like things have gone a little bit too smoothly for some reason. Because we've still got another 2 days left. 2.5 days left. So I'm thinking today's going to be make or break for some reason. I just think day 4, depending how much progress we make in day 4, is probably going to determine how the scenario ends up. So we've had a unit surrendered, so where's that? Over here somewhere. I did actually turn off the little surrendered crosses over here, by the way. Just to clear up the map a bit, because there are a fair few now and they don't really serve any purpose, so we'll just turn those off in case you're wondering where they are. There we go. Alrighty, so we'll just keep things running. There's no changes I want to make at the moment. Everything's going fine. I'd really like the entirety of the 901st to be in position before we move out. I'm thinking start moving down the highway at about Probably give these guys another 2 or 3 hours, so maybe about 10:30. We'll start moving. We'll start pushing down the highway. I'm going to push down with probably 3 battalions, 2 or 3 battalions. Probably 3 actually. Probably better to do the whole 3 battalions. By that, I think the 902nd is probably not going to be in position until then. So we'll just see how that goes. But I haven't really seen any massive units coming up the highway yet. No massive big bunch of reinforcements. So we'll just see how that goes. Yes, this unit's still causing us problems. They lost a lot of men though, so they're up around nearly 160 men. They're down to 113, and we know that's accurate because the reliability is excellent. So I don't think there's really any point in hitting them with artillery. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm going to move these guys forward because they're sort of out of range now. So I'm going to move all these guys forward to this hill. Fastest, quickest, and everything else is going to be stock standard. So don't worry too much about it, just get them forward. Doesn't matter where they are, really. Who else have we got? Move you forward. And who else? You, and so move you forward as well. And there we go. I think that's everyone. Yeah, that's everyone. Cool. Alright, so that's good. So that'll be all of them forward. So most of our artillery is within range now, which is good. So move these guys forward, and they've got some really good cover through here. And then obviously these guys, which you mentioned before. So I think some artillery hit here, which is fine. These guys causing problems. Alright, actually hit these. I'm trying to get rid of this engineer unit. It's really starting to annoy me. So hit you guys there, and you as well. Do have a fair bit of artillery ammo stocked up now, which is really quite good. Because I didn't use a whole lot yesterday. I used some, but definitely nowhere near as much amount I used in the first couple of days. So I have sort of stocked up a bit now, which is really good because a lot of our like I mentioned, our supplies are going to start decreasing now. Right, so this unit's retreating now, which is good. So they're down to 93 men. So they took a whole bunch of casualties just then, which is good. So hopefully these guys aren't too much problems anymore. Move this forward and just go avoid friendlies off and just cancel that mission. There we go. So it looks like they're probably trying to escape now. They're probably trying to withdraw, but there's just nowhere for them to go. They're blocked off. So alright, so the rest of KG Kunku is not too far away, which is good. They're fairly well rested too. This battalion, it's not too bad actually. It's probably better than I thought it would be. Which is good, so they'll be in position really quite soon. Got both these objectives there, which is good. That's interesting. Heavy machine gun company. It's a different colour too. You see the colours. So the colours indicate like branch of the services. So for example, with our reinforcements coming between 1400 and 1700 today, the blue indicates they're paratroopers. Just so I know that they're paratroop units which are coming through. They're going to enter down here somewhere. So I'm not really quite sure what branch that is. I should probably know actually. Can't really see enough about them yet. That's interesting. I'll keep an eye on that, make sure there's no big force coming down this way. But we'll just see how that goes. Yeah, see some more units bunching up here. Alrighty. Interesting. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it too much, yeah. So I think we're going to issue orders at 9:45 or so. We'll issue orders for these 3 regiments to start moving out. They're all really quite well rested at the moment, which is good to see. Yeah, we'll start moving down the highway. I think what we may even do, we may even send the 901st, maybe over to here to Borsy, however you pronounce it, the B-town, over here, so they can actually follow maybe this road up. So they'll come down to here, clear out this area, then move up this way. And then we'll move out to Holtmeyer and Gutman down to here, or further down towards Bastogne. And then if we need the 901st, we can just bring them down either the highway. They can come across to Noville. We could maybe take that early, or they could follow the rail line down. Because what kind of movement is that? Railways, yeah, so 72% for foot troops, so that's still really quite quick. It's a lot quicker than open ground, which is only 50%, so we move them down the highway if we need them around Bastogne. We're going to have these units here as well around Bastogne. We're going to have the 902nd, we've got this battalion here. We're going to have the 77th once they get there, but they won't be there for a while. So I think we're going okay at the moment. I think everything's looking pretty good. Some battles around here. Should keep an eye on that. Parachute. So these guys have to be reinforcements. Parachute infantry company. So we've got some paratroopers in, so they have to be reinforcements. So I know there's reinforcements on the map. Just depends how many. Alrighty, so what have we got here? So a bunch of things have abandoned its mission. So KG 901. So the 901 1st Regiment has abandoned its mission, lack of time, and everything else is stopped. Right, that's cool. It's almost time to issue orders, isn't it? Alrighty, I'm going to lead with these guys. These guys are going to lead. I'm going to lead. I'm going to get you guys to actually attack from here all the way down to this group of... Why can't you move there? Are you motorized? You must be motorized. Interesting. Not all motorized, are you? Oh, you are too. Oh, that's right, because it's a mixed company, isn't it? I was thinking that was an infantry regiment, but it's not. It's a motorized one. Alright, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start launching the attack now. So I'm going to get these guys to move all the way down the highway. Formation, I think I'm going to set it manually for this one. Thinking maybe Arrowhead, because I know Arrowhead's got it's fairly well rounded on sort of the front and the sides, but still primarily towards the front. Given I think that's where we're going to have most of the units coming through. I don't really want to go for V because that's too much to the front. It's really weak on the sides, but I think we're definitely going to have some contact on the sides. Line is sort of the same. It's a little bit too heavily weighted for the front, I think. Don't have a whole lot of infantry, so we could go successive lines. We do have some infantry here. That looks like an infantry one. It's a motorized infantry. So successive lines generally put infantry in front, then tanks behind. We're going to go for Arrowhead formation for this one. I think we can go max aggro, max rate of fire, because if these guys wear themselves out or use their supplies around this area, I'm not too bothered by that. They should be really well quite stocked. They've got a huge amount of ammunition and all this kind of stuff and fuel, so they're really quite well stocked. That's not going to be a problem. I'd rather sort of punch a line or get these guys, use these guys to clear out this area. Then I can use these other two regiment, Holtmeyer and Gutman, to sort of sweep through towards Bastogne. So if these guys wear themselves out, I'm not really too bothered by that. I think we're going to do that. So max aggro, max rate of fire. I think we'll just leave everything else as fine. We'll go artillery direct support only to make sure they just use their artillery for this attack and for nothing else. And we'll go minimum rest, and everything else can just be fine. Don't think the route's going to matter given that they're, it's sort of a straight line anyway. That's fine. We'll leave these other two just for a little bit. What I will actually do with Koschenhausen though is actually what I'll do, I'll move these guys down just a little bit. So I'll move Gutman down to here, and I'll move Holtmeyer sort of just behind them. Then they can get ready for the attack, and I'll move Koschenhausen into their blocking position sort of atop this ridge here, so they should be able to have good field of view. So we're going to switch them back. Actually, we'll probably reduce their frontage, reduce the size, maybe a little bit small. Increase the frontage then. Alright, so there we go. So we're going to face them sort of this way. Sort of like that there. So they cover most of the ridge and then some of these downslopes as well. Going to max aggro. Minimum rest. Retake position. I'll leave off artillery direct support only. And I think I might even put attacks on. No, I'll leave that off for now. Alright. There we go. So they're going to go into that blocking position. These two regiments move down to get ready for the attack, and then 901st is going to be sort of the first big attack through here. 902nd is still a fair way away. There's still some units here, which is a bit of a problem. I'll actually start using some artillery to clear out these guys. I can just see the ranges, so put some artillery down here. It's still moving, it's resting, so we use you. Firing, we use you. And you, and you as well. There we go, it's a fair bit of artillery. These guys are still here. I did change their, actually I thought I'd change their route to avoidance, so that looks like they've stopped. Alright, I'm actually going to move you guys back around this way and go avoidance. None, fastest, avoidance, yep, alright, there we go. So I do want them in position because they are quite decent guns. So, alright, so definitely we know now there's definitely a paratroop battalion on the map, at least a battalion. So maybe a little bit light in this area, which is actually a little bit concerning. So I probably definitely want to get these guys down here because these guys are really quite a powerful company. So I actually probably want to get these guys to defend on this map, this point, facing this way. We'll go avoidance, fastest, max aggro. So avoidance hopefully means they're going to come around this way. So as we can see, yeah, definitely some paratroop units on the map. So just to be aware of that. Parachute units on their own, like parachute companies on their own, generally aren't that strong because they don't usually have a whole lot of like attached weapons. Generally, they've only got small arms, so I'm not too bothered by them. But obviously, reinforcements indicate there's some bunch of units elsewhere. So we've got a tank company coming up here, armored platoon. We've got a brigade base here, so that's probably another big brigade on the map. So just being quite careful about reinforcements. We're paranoid. He's getting some attacks up this hill, which is interesting. I think we should be fine. What I might actually do is actually set these guys up. Maybe sort of down here. They can sort of sit there, and then KG Concord can sit right on this ridge, facing out this way. Go max aggro, minimum rest, everything else, and then set these guys up, facing down this way as well. We're going max aggro as well. Make sure they engage a long way away. And everything else can be fine. Alright, that's good. I'm not too worried about it. It's only 2 platoons at the moment, 6 tanks. There's going to be more. We're going to have more than enough to fight that off. But I just will keep an eye and make sure there's no big attack coming up through the hill here. Because you are quite close to Bastogne here. We're really quite close and not too far away at all. So, still expecting a big concentration of troops here. Just keep an eye on that though. Alrighty, 901st should almost start moving out soon. Start getting ready. You see some of the movements to start coming in. Same with these guys and these ones, and Koschenhausen there. So where you're from? You're from... Oh, you're from the 77th Regiment. Yep. So you're moving out to here, which would be good. Have another regiment there. 902nd look like it's a bit stalled. Looks like they're starting to move again though, so we'll just leave that. Looks like they're actually going to put in... These look like attack moves, don't they? Or are they just normal moves? We'll keep an eye on that. Looks like they're starting to move again, so... Because having the attack option ticks here can really slow things down, because when they launch an attack, the whole column stops, basically. And then they launch their attack, and then they move again. So it can be really quite slow. So I'll just be careful of that. I do want them to get into position really quite quickly, because I think these guys could be quite important here as sort of a reserve unit. Keep an eye on that. So these guys are moving now really quite quickly, which is good, so they'll be set up. Looks like these paratroopers aren't pushing in too much. I think we should be fine. We've got a battalion here, we've got all these units here, we've got this unit set up here, which is really quite a strong unit. Lots of machine guns, good range and stuff. They should be firing. Looks like they already are firing on these guys, so that should be fine. Might even put some artillery down on these guys just to make sure they don't cause us any problems. No, we'll leave it. I think it should be fine. It's only 2 units so far, so it's not a massive attack. We'll just keep an eye on that. This is all fine. These guys are going to start getting to defensive positions, which is good. Still some artillery here. 902nd, yes. 902nd's moving again. And we've got this battalion sitting here, which is good. So this is actually really quite a strong battalion. 797 men. And 61 tanks. And 61 tanks for a battalion is really quite a lot. Because like Holtmeyer, as a regiment's only got 96. And Gutmann's only got 54. And they're actually regimental size. So this is really quite a strong unit here. So they're really quite useful to have there. Cool, cool. Right, so 901st we can see here is pretty much almost set up. Some of the units are still got a little bit way to go, but pretty much set up, so they should start moving out soon. Attacking down the road, which will be interesting to see what we come up against. So we lost an objective again, so that's because that unit's in there. It's an engineer company in there. Motorized infantry platoon. Alright. I'm a little bit concerned about this area down here. Although I don't think I'm going to divert any troops because this unit will be here soon. It is really quite a strong unit with really good range, lots of machine guns and stuff as well. So I think once this is here, that's going to have a really good range or view around this way. So I think that's going to be okay. But probably the biggest reason is at 2 PM, between 2 and 3, we get 463 men, so a battalion. And then between 3 and 5 we get a regiment. So we get the 1st Battalion of the 14th Folsom, basically 14th Paratroop Regiment, and then we get the actual regimental HQ itself. So I think that's going to be fine. I think it's going to be more than enough to hold this area. Plus, these aren't really critical objectives. They're not massive points-wise. Definitely want them, but yeah, anyway. So I'll just keep an eye on this. Just starting to see some more units coming down this way, so I'll just keep an eye on what's happening there. This doesn't look like it's a huge attack or anything. It looks like it's a bit more like a probe or something, so that's should be more than fine. Decent amount of units though, but I'm pretty comfortable there because we hold the high ground. And it's a decent sized force here, 2 full battalions. So I think we should be totally fine here. We'll keep an eye on it though. So the Allies definitely upped their game. So definitely got some reinforcements on the map because they're attacking quite a bit more than what they were. So you can see here. So definitely a paratroop brigade or battalion, I should say, is down here. So they are still moving forward. So just have to keep an eye on this. These guys aren't too far away. It just depends whether they get there in time or not. They are set up on fastest though, so that's fine. I think it should be fine. I think we should be able to hold this for at least a few hours. We've got all these units here. Worst comes to worst, we can pull these guys back across the bridge. Just to make sure they don't come across the bridge. They're retreating already. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. So we attack up there, which is fine. 901st is moving out, which is good. Although I'm not really quite sure why you're so far in front. Oh, no, because you're moving there, right? 901st. 901st hasn't moved yet. Why haven't you moved? Move. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's move it. Move it, move it, move it. Alright, looks like it's starting to move out now. Anyway. Cool, cool. Alright, so the 902nd's not too far away from in position. These paratroop units are getting quite close. I'm still not too worried about this. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't look like a massive attack, so I think we're going to be able to fight it off, even if it's a bit of action there for a while. This is not massive either. We're pretty well covered here. Really quite strong in this area, so that's fun. Alrighty, I think I'm just going to sit back and wait for a little bit, guys. See what happens. Oh, dearie me. So it looks like another brigade here, but I think we should be fine. There's some artillery fire here, which is a pain, but I think we'll leave the 902nd to deal with this itself, and just keep an eye on it. So they have crossed. I mean, they're persistent. Generally, paratroop units really can be quite aggressive, so they keep going even if they're taking losses and stuff. This one's not too far away from being set up. It does have to deploy its weapons. So this little unit here says should deploy. This means that to actually get this value here, so this 148 anti-personnel firepower, this icon means it actually has to deploy some weapons to actually get that value. So that would be like, I imagine, like probably the MG42s and the flak guns here, the flak 37 and 38. Yeah, so it does take a little bit of time to deploy, but it shouldn't be too much. So there we go. So it looks like it's deployed almost already, so it's shaking into formation. It's still going, and there we go. So deployed. So it's now deployed. So it should have a fairly good line of sight in this area. Just going to double check that. Yeah, so it's look like to see that it's firing now. And if you look at that, yeah, so it does have decent line of sight in this area. Yeah, not too bad. A little bit patchy down here actually. Maybe we should have actually moved them down on the downslope. It's probably a better spot for them. Interesting. I might actually do that. I actually move them down to the... Oops. If we can move it, if it'll let me. No, it's not going to. What about there? Is that good enough? Yeah, still not much better, is it? One over here somewhere. How about there? That should be good. There. There we go, that's a bit better. A bit more view into the town. We'll see how that goes anyway. I mean, it does mean they do have to like pack up and then deploy again. So it's not ideal, but I think it's been worth it. I'll just go fastest max aggro. See how that goes. as I mentioned, I'm not too worried about this. Even if it takes a bit of time, I'm not too bothered. Looks like we're fighting off these units, which is good. So these guys are doing their jobs, which is awesome. 901st, still not quite ready, taking their time. Oh no, moving out now. There we go. Yeah, they're moving out now. Cool, cool. Okay, so 901st is moving down. Holtmeyer and Gutmann are in position. Koschenhausen's getting out there. It's taking a little bit of time though, but they're slowly getting there. Yes, definitely getting some more attacks up here. So here we go. So 8th Corps HQ. Is that the one that we attacked over here somewhere? I think it may be. If not, that means there's reinforcements, which means it's good to have a blocking force there. I think they're the ones that we attacked over here a couple of episodes ago, guys. I think that was the 8th Corps from memory. So I'm not too worried about that. So there we go. Yeah, so these guys are retreating. These guys should move out fairly soon. Still 73-minute delay on the force. Force delay. On the delay on the force. Sounds like Star Wars, doesn't it? 73-minute force delay for our on-map boss. Alright, so here we go. So now we know there's a whole bunch of reinforcements on the map, because these are all paratroop units coming that we can actually see coming from the map. Alrighty, so I think it's probably quite imperative that we actually start pushing down the highway really quite quickly. Alright, so I'm going to issue attack orders for all 3 of our regiments. So we've got the 901st attacking already. I'm going to get Gutmann to just actually move down to actually... I'm not sure whether to use a move order or an attack order. I think an attack order is like too far. I think what we're going to do is actually get them to maybe move to these sort of ridges here. Facing this way. But we're going to go max aggro. Attacks, yes. Minimum rest, and that can be fine. With Holtmann... I think we're going to do the same thing. So get them to move down to here on the outskirts of Bastogne. And attacks, max aggro, everything else is pretty much stock standard. And yeah, I think we got to get them moving. I think again, I've probably delayed a little bit too long. So it's nearly 1 PM, so it's not going to be until 2 at least until they start moving. So yeah, it's going to be a while until they start moving. So we definitely know there's a bunch of reinforcements, so yeah, interesting. So probably are going to need the whole next 2 days. I probably did get a little bit too confident, given that the reinforcements are on the map already. So it's really a bit of a slog now. I suspect to actually get towards Bastogne. What I'm thinking though is actually maybe bringing one of these 3 regiments across to Neuville, then attacking down this way. Because it looks like they're bringing all their reinforcements straight up the highway. We can actually get across to Neuville and down. We could actually get in behind them. So I think that maybe the 901st. You might actually bring the 902nd into sort of the frontal attack on Bastogne down this way. And maybe bring the 901st up this road to Neuville and then maybe down again. See how that goes. These guys are going to be under a fair bit of pressure now here, I think, given it looks like they're bringing up a lot more units. I'm fairly comfortable these guys should be able to hold, though. They've got the high ground. They should have decent advantage. It's really quite a strong force, or strong enough to hold off, you know, pretty much most attacks, I would have thought. Yeah, you see here, a bunch of paratroop companies coming through. Anyway, so these guys are deployed now, which is good. So they should be able to get their guns. Alright, so there we go. So they're now firing, which is good. So I imagine these guys won't last too much longer. We're going to start getting some artillery fire here. We're not really using our artillery much at the moment, so you may as well get some benefit from it. You're a long way away, aren't you? May as well use you there while we can. Here. And here, and here. Yep. I think I should start bombing the highway as well, where we can. I guess move these guys forward, aren't they? They're out of range. Move them over this way more. Oh yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Yeah, start hitting the highway a bit. Yeah, that'll do for now. Alrighty. Getting some attacks here. Again, I'm not too fussed. Alrighty, more artillery. These guys are really out of position. Not doing any good here. A little bit worried about moving them here though, because I think there's still some units in the area. But they're currently pretty useless, so we have to do that. We have to move these guys quite quickly. So you can set these guys up in this hill up here and just hope there's no units in the area. When we've had units come through here, so it should be fairly cleared out. Just going to go fastest, quickest. May not be the best idea, but we're just going to see how it goes. Who else? You. These guys are pretty much in range. We could move them forward as well. So you move these guys up to here. Probably should have done this a little bit sooner, so they could support the attacks by the 3 regiments down the road. Hopefully these guys move fairly quickly though, and we'll should be able to use them. So there we go, that's all our artillery there. Cool, cool. Alright, yeah, I'm going to move the Panzer Division down to here. You guys can just sit there. Fastest, quickest. I'm going to move the on-map boss forward as well, probably down to the same spot. We'll just sit them behind here there. Good, just to make sure we're within range of everything, and everything else is fine. These guys are still in range though, so we may as well use you, because I'm not going to use you for a whole lot longer. Should have a fair bit of ammo, so I'm actually going to start bombarding here with some longer missions. Some longer fire support missions. Actually, I'm going to bombard the highway. Get some units moving forward. And maybe just there. See how that goes. Cool. Alright, there we go. Interesting. Actually, it probably worked out really quite well. So this looks like the Holtmeyer force. They have chosen to come around this way. Come around from the top. So actually probably works really quite well. Once they get to here, we may even divert them over to Noville, and they can be the force that comes down this way. And we'll leave the 901st coming this way. KG Gutman's actually doing the same. That's actually not a bad thing. Now that I've thought about it, it's probably better than coming straight down the highway, because it looks like it's heavily defended down this highway. So we'll just keep an eye on that. So if there are units coming up this way, have to be just keep an eye, make sure these guys don't get into any trouble. They should be okay. We'll have to just be careful. Still some units in the town. I'm not too bothered. We still hold both objectives. Like I said, we'll get some paratroop units here. Actually, any moment now, they should start coming through. Should be good. 901's abandoned its attack, lack of time. No, it's just because you were too damn slow to get it done. Damn it. I hate it when this happens. I'm not really quite sure why this happens sometimes. It seems to like block out. It seems to like not leave themselves enough time. So you go fastest and go shortest. So I want to go straight down the highway. And artillery direct support only. So it sort of halted their attack, which is frustrating, but that's life. Alright, so we've got 2 full regiments moving out this way, which is good. So they should be more than enough to deal with anything in this area. 902's almost in position. They're pretty much there. Still got some units moving through. 77th in position. Reinforcements have arrived. We'll deal with those guys in a minute. We've got this battalion here. Alrighty. I think I'm going to have to get a little bit more aggressive with my units. I think I'm actually going to bring these guys around this way. Sit them around, try and get them on these ridges here. Because we're getting quite pressed up here with these guys. Scheduled airstrike being abandoned. Alright, so we've got the 1st Battalion of the 14th Paratroop Regiment, which is awesome. So we're actually going to get you guys to actually come. Actually, we'll set you up here, and we're actually going to get you to attack through here to actually clear out all these paratroop units, which are being an absolute pain. So we need to clear out this area. So I'm going to get you to do that, and we'll go minimum. We'll go max aggro and leave everything else to your discretion. And they're going to be, those orders are going to be carried out straight away because they don't have orders delay for the first little period. So we'll get rid of these units here, and then we'll probably end up bringing these guys through here somewhere. Maybe actually once the regiment arrives, we'll get them up here on this ridge up here and support these guys, because they could probably use a hand. I think they're getting pressed quite a bit. So I'm using my artillery a bit more too. So all these artillery units are moving. These guys haven't moved. Move. Cool, righty, yep. So these guys are doing quite well. They're moving quite quickly. These Holtman and Gutmeyer. Koschenhausen is in place, not really up against anything though. So we may even, now that it looks like we're going up against quite a bit more, may even end up pushing you guys down as well, if there's no real need. We see some units up here though. Just going to have a look, see how old those reports are. Recent. Alright, so we know there's some units up here still. It's not a lot though, it's only 214 men, so it's probably remnant still. So, I'm not too worried about that. So we may end up using Koschenhausen, pushing them down. So maybe even pushing them over to Neuville. So I mean, Bastogne is the number one, probably the number one objective, but another massive one as well, probably equal to Bastogne, is actually exiting our units off the map. We can do that at any of these points on this side here. So it doesn't have to be near Bastogne, it can be up, sort of up here if we want to come through Neuville and exit that way. But I think to probably win the scenario with a decisive victory, we're going to need Bastogne and to exit. So we probably need both of those. There's still some units up there. Anyway, 77th Grenadier Regiment is in place. Not too bad on fatigue. What I'm actually going to do, I think I'm going to move these guys, move the 77th to here, and then move this force, probably just swing around the valley. Even though they'll be in low ground, I think I'm going to swing around the valley and maybe try and get them on this ridge here, so they maybe hit these guys from the rear. I think that's what I'm going to do. So move these guys to here, facing down this way. Go for, no, probably not fast, just go max aggro. I'm actually going to get these guys to actually, I think probably an attack move. So actually probably go from attack, just set up here, looks like there's no units in the area. May actually even attack over to here somewhere. Yeah, probably here somewhere would be good. Maybe we'll even set them up in this forest, would be quite good, because then we can block reinforcements coming through. Alright, we're going to do that. They are motorized though, aren't they? Yeah, so they're not going to get there easily. Alright. Maybe the town. Maybe we'll be quite adventurous and try and block the town off any reinforcements coming back in, which will give our regiments time to get close to Bastogne. We're actually going to do that. We're going to do this. It is really quite a strong force. We're going to see what it can do. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to get artillery direct support, make sure it uses its support units just for itself. I think we're going to go... I'm not sure which route to use, whether we go quickest, which will probably mean they'll go up the highway, or whether we go around this way, which would probably be maybe avoidance, or shortest, I'm not sure. We'll go normal aggro. We don't want them to get too tied down. I'd rather get them moving quickly. Oh yeah, we'll see how that goes. Cool. So the 90 seconds has pretty much cleared all the opposition out from its area. It should get in position. It has been quite slow. Unfortunately, they're probably not really going to be ready to fight until late tonight, tomorrow. 77th should start moving out. It looks like they've just gotten into position, but that's fine. All these guys are starting to get bogged down a little bit, but that's probably to be expected. Getting some units surrendering here and there, so just, where's that one? So that one was there, either here and here. Alright, cool. That works. So they're going there. Alright, that's cool. Works. And 77th, yeah, they're going to start moving across too, which works as well. It's quite good. Oh yeah, 14th Regiment has arrived, which is good. I think I'm actually going to... They've got a battalion attached to them directly. I think I'm going to leave the 1st Battalion to deal with these guys. I'm actually going to move the 14th Regiment with its attached battalion and set them up in this area so they can provide some support to these guys. We're going to set them up here. We go quickest. Everything else can just be normal, I think. No real need to do anything else. And yeah, these guys can start moving up there. Yes, they're going to take that route, which is good. Cool. Cool. Because these guys, yeah, it's kind of a fair against a decent amount of stuff here. Just keep an eye on that. No idea what you're doing there. Why are you going there? You're part of the 901st, aren't you? Yeah, I suppose it's a fairly big footprint, isn't it? Alright, that's fine. It's not really ideal. I probably don't really want you there, but I probably should have changed the orders if I didn't want that. These guys are all moving. So actually setting up attacks now. You actually see they've got attacks clicked. These guys are all actually attacking forward. See all these movements here? They're all attacking down this way, clearing out this area. Which actually probably works for me, because they're going to clear out all of this area here. Yeah, interesting. Alright, cool. We'll see how we go. These guys are moving. 77 should start moving soon. Yep. 90 seconds still sort of stuck here a little bit. I'm going to take attacks off, which is going to delay them again, but see all these units back here are stopped because they're launching attacks up the front. I don't really want that. I'd rather get them up here and get them sorted so then I can move them out a bit later. We'll just see how that goes though. Alrighty. There you go. So the 1st Battalion of the 14th Paratroop Regiment has started moving out, which would be good. They would clear this area out. Lost this objective, a few units here and there. I'm not too bothered by these. 9th Armour Division HQ surrendered, so all these units around here. So they should be, if we turn this on, yeah, a whole bunch of surrendered Allied units there. So they took a big beating there, which is fine. Radio fire support. I'm actually going to start using a bit of fire support here to drive these units off if I can. Where are you? Alright, so this did happen. There's a unit here which has stopped these units, which is a bit of a pain, but some of them did make it, which is fine, so that's good. I'm going to start using these guys a bit. I feel like I'm not quite using my artillery enough at the moment. Let me try and hit you while you're moving. Let's see how we go. Yeah, so probably no reinforcements up here. There's probably just the remnants. But yeah, that's fine. Right, so these guys moving. The 1st Battalion's assaulting through, which is good, so they should clear that out. Still hold both objectives, which is fine. I think they don't end until the end of tomorrow. So, Wilt's, yeah, day 5 at 0800, so 8 AM. Yeah, so they don't end until tomorrow morning. So that's okay. So, yeah, so 902nd starting to move out, which is good. These guys are starting to move across into their positions. These guys are still holding, although they're taking a bit of damage. It's to be expected. And yeah, everything else seems to be going fairly well. 78th Regiment, we can move you out as well. We should have done that a bit earlier. Where do we want you? I think what we're going to do with you, I think we are going to push you to here. Because you're an infantry platoon, infantry regiment. We're going to go for quickest, so I suspect they're probably just going to come straight through. We'll go for minimum, we'll just go everything normal. Actually going to go bypass and minimum aggro. I probably want to get them in this position, because then we can push across to Noville, we can push down, we can push straight across to the exit objectives. Just give us a bit more options if we get them across here. Because a little bit congested through here, I'm feeling. We'd like to spread out a little bit more. Alrighty, so getting towards dusk. So definitely haven't made as much progress as I would have liked today. So we've still got another day and, well, basically sort of 2 full days. But yeah, definitely haven't made as much progress as I would have liked. Which is understandable given they've poured in a fair few reinforcements. It's sort of just really held us up a bit. You start moving out a little bit, pushing a little bit further. I think what we're going to do with KG Koshenhausen, they're fairly well rested. They haven't really done a whole lot today, are they? Yeah, they're not really well rested at all, are they? Anyway, what I think we're going to do, I think there's probably no need for a blocking force. It doesn't look like they're getting any reinforcements. I would have thought they'd have them already. So we're going to take a bit of a gamble, actually push these guys across here as well. Actually, I mean, they're going to be coming across tracks. It's going to be fairly slow going for them. But I think we're going to push them across to Noville. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up some movement orders for these guys. I think we're going to come up this way. We're going to come up this way. And then come down this way. Actually, what we may do is actually come down this way and then come to Noville. So Noville's going to be our end objective. We're going to do like a big loop across the top there. Just thinking about what we can do to spread out. Make sure they can't bunch up their reinforcements just in front of Bastogne here, because if they do that, we're going to really struggle to break through. So if we can get around behind them and get some movement. So I really would like to, if we can clear this area, actually move one of these battalions around this way. May even end up doing that with the paratroopers once we get those sorted out in the next day or so. Move them around here. Anyway, so oops, move them down there. Yep, right, it's cool. So that's that. So what we're going to do is put them on the quickest route. Yes, which is what we want. Quickest, yep. Probably just normal everything. We definitely don't want attacks. Don't really want bypass though either, because that probably means they could change their route quite a bit. Minimum rest. I'm going to put them on no rest. It may exhaust them, but I think it's probably worth it. I'm going to put them on fastest as well. This is probably going to really wear them out. They may be absolutely knackered by the time they get there, but I think it's going to be worth it. Cool, cool. Rightio. So most of our artillery is not too far away from being in position, which is good. 78th is going to start moving out soon, which is good as well. These are all the 902nd, aren't they still? Right. So 902nd's pretty much in position. And this KG Von F force is still taking a bit of time. They're quite fatigued, aren't they? For they haven't really been doing a whole lot. So they have been sort of firing all day, haven't they? So they haven't really had a chance to rest a lot. Yeah, they're exhausted. Wow. Okay, we'll see how that goes. These forces are a little bit stuck, not really doing a whole lot. Dum, dum, dum. Wondering whether we should take them one of these off attacks, because they've both got attacks, which means they're both sort of launching attacks at the same thing. Gutmann's probably a little bit further forwards, maybe Holtmeyer. Maybe we should push them across to Noville as well, because then we're still going to have the 901st, Gutmeyer, and the 902nd in this area, plus the 77th, plus these ones, plus this. Alright, we're going to do that. Chopping and changing my mind. Do not do this, guys. This is wasting time. I should have probably planned this out a little bit better earlier on. Set that up. You actually go quickest, fastest, min aggro. So it's going to be another waste of time, and we're going to go no rest. I'd rather get my guys our formations in position and then give them a few hours to rest, rather than have them all sort of, you know, all over the place like they are at the moment, and then sort of have to give the allies more time to get into position. Because if we can get around behind them and start stretching them out a bit, make sure they can't concentrate their defenses, that's going to be a hell of a lot better for us. These guys doing okay. Looks like the enemy's sort of not attacking there too much anymore. Moving out. Power troopers are still moving slowly, and yep. Alright. Yeah, so that's an old platoon, because they only got one tank there, so it's nothing to worry about. Same with this one, only one non-AFV, so that should be fine. I'm going to quickly check the time, guys. Apologies if the video goes all funny. Okay, 54 minutes. Probably play for another 10 minutes or so. Should we get us to, I don't know, 8 o'clock or so? See how we go. Alrighty, night time. Well, still dusk. It's probably actually not a bad thing for us because it probably means we can actually get some movement happening. So a little pause of the game at 1800 while it recalculates some stuff. Come on. There we go. Cool, cool. So, is the 78th moving yet? Only just. There we go, that's fine. 77th is moving. KG Von F Force is moving. These guys still being attacked. All these 3 battalions here are a bit of a mess. They're not really, fortunately, doing enough at the moment, but that's okay. I think we should resolve that. These guys should start moving soon, hopefully. Yeah, they're starting to get some movement orders. Yep. Alright, cool. So that's good. So they should start moving out now. We've put them on to, I think, I swear we put them on no rest. That said minimum. Yeah, right. No, that's good. Cool, cool. That works. So I don't, like I said, I don't mind if these guys get exhausted. They're running at 51% average. So I don't mind if they get up really quite a high exhaustion. I'd really rather them get across to Neville. So then we can actually start attacking from multiple directions. Otherwise, I feel we're going to spend the next day and a half slugging straight through in front of Bastogne if we can't get around the behind them. Plus, it does give us the added objective. If we get to sort of day 6 and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to take Bastogne for whatever reason, we can still bring some forces across and exit at these higher exit points here. And I think we'll still get a victory. It'll probably only be a marginal victory if that happens, though. Like I said, I think we're going to need Bastogne and the exit objectives to actually get a decisive victory, which is the highest level of victory you can get. So these paratroop units are being driven out. It's a little bit strung out here. These ones are fighting these ones, but it looks like these guys are retreating, so that's fine. We still hold both objectives, which is really all that matters. These guys are still moving, which is fine. These guys are pretty much in position, so they should start attacking this. I actually think this could be quite a good important point, because if we can hold this town, it's going to stop any reinforcements coming from Bastogne up the highway. It means it's going to be a lot easier for us to clear out this area. If we actually get to this point, we're really quite close to Bastogne. We can really start maneuvering around a little bit more. So why have we lost the Wilt's objective? There must be a unit in here somewhere. That one there, right? That's fine. So they were retreating, so we should be able to get rid of them fairly soon. Should keep an eye on that. There we go. So these guys are assault attacking through, which is good. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually make it there or not. It will be quite interesting. Alrighty, all these guys are moving quickly. So who's this? This is Arco. Is this Holtman? Oh, that's Holtmeyer. So Holtmeyer's moving to Neville as well. They're moving really quite quickly as well. These guys are starting to move out as well. 78th is moving. Alrighty, finally, nighttime is where we're getting some significant movement, which is good. Hopefully it continues. So how are we going with our destroy the enemy objective? We're up to 8.2 points out of 25, so not massive, but not nothing either. It's fairly decent. So a fair bit of casualties. I suspect the casualty is going to be fairly lopsided in our favour. If going to have caused a lot more casualties to the Allies than they've caused to us, I suspect. So I think it's probably the way it was historically. I think from memory, I think the Battle of Bastogne, think the Germans caused a lot more casualties. I can't remember though exactly. Alrighty-o. So if we can get to Noville, I think that's going to be really quite important. So it gives us options if we can do that. I suspect, say, these units here, which we're moving up here, I suspect there's going to be units in Noville. I'd be highly surprised if there weren't. But I think it probably should be. We should be able to take it. Still a unit here we haven't gotten rid of. We don't have the objective, which is a pain. You might even have to. These units fall up here. You might even have to bring them back, although they're pretty exhausted, aren't they? Damn. Because you got to think this objective expires at 8 AM. We don't want to lose it. It is what, 7, isn't it? 7:20. I think we have to do that. I think we have to bring these guys back. Although they're exhausted, I'm not sure they're going to do it. Alright, we're going to have to do it. We have to clear these units out of here. We're just going to have to get into here. So assault straight into them. I'm going to put you on to no rest. Sorry. I know you're probably tired, but such is life. Max aggro. See how we go. So we really want to clear this area out. I actually thought they were driven off because they were retreating at some point, weren't they? But they've obviously hung around and now it's night time. We can't see them to engage them. And they're not messing with our objective. These guys are still moving, which is good. These guys are all here. So I'm going to put them onto normal rest. Actually, both of these guys onto normal rest, right? Temporarily bunkered down. Abandon its attack mission, too risky. Are you high? How on earth is that too risky? You have like overwhelming superiority. Interesting. Really quite sure what's going on there. I have to keep an eye on that. Alright, these guys are actually almost there, which is interesting. I suppose it is night time though, so may not see, probably won't see any enemy until they're really quite close. Interesting. Units there. So this is Holtmeyer moving. Why aren't you moving? You are finally just. 78th is moving. Fairly fatigued though, so I don't think they're going to make it there before they have to stop. Weird little self-propelled artillery company. They've been floating around since the start of the scenario. I'm not bothered by that. They're not really going to cause us too many problems. I don't understand why you're saying it's too risky, dudes. It's hardly risky. They've abandoned it. Probably because they're exhausted, I suspect. Bugger. Well, all we can hope for is once the daylight clears at about 7, we've got an hour to actually get these guys to, a bit more visibility. Hopefully we can fire on them and get rid of them, because there's not really a whole lot I can do, unfortunately. I could try and move one of these guys in, but they're not really combat units. I suppose they could move you in. Put you on to no. Actually, there it is there. Go away. Go away. They're still firing on us. That's what I meant by paratroop units. Paratroop companies can be really persistent, which is good when you're playing them. They're really good at holding on to objectives. Yeah, it's really can be really hard to dislodge. So you can actually, if you press the F button or if you click on this one, F fire, you can actually order your units to actually fire. So I wonder if we can do that, actually get some fire onto them. Just leave it like that for a little bit. These guys are still moving. Right, we've actually taken the town, which is awesome. We actually now have a blocking position in this area, which is brilliant. That is really, really quite good. So at least we know no more reinforcements are going to come up from Bastogne up the highway, so we can hopefully clear this area out. Holtmeyer still moving through here, which is good. Koschenhausen is doing absolutely not very much at all. Why? Probably because they're exhausted, I suspect, but anyway. 78th is still moving, which is good. Slowly, which is fine. And these guys aren't doing anything. Right, that's fine. Firing. Who are you firing at? Must be these guys. Achieve the Noville objective. Interesting, there's no units in the area. Because we got it as soon as we had a unit move into the objective. Which means there's no allied units at Noville. Fascinating. Very, very interesting. So if we can get the entirety of Holtmeyer here, if we can get the 78th sort of in this area, if we can get Koschenhausen, which I don't think they're actually going to get there, if we could get them around to Noville, get sort of 3 regiments in this area, it gives us a lot more options actually. Anyway, we'll see how things go. Well, those little ticks you hear in the background, by the way, guys, so I think they're all, if I click on it, there we go, resupply. Yeah, so supplies have arrived. So they're just, that's what it is, nothing too exciting. First is a bit of a shambles. They've sort of dropped the ball a bit. 90-seconds, fairly tired. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the 90-second to rest. For now, we're going to get the, where's the 77th? I can't see, there it is there. We get you guys to rest as well. I want you all fresh. So you're getting some attacks here. Just keep an eye on this. Should be okay. Don't know why they're doing that. I'm just going to delete that objective. It's causing problems. Don't really know why though. Now they've brought another HQ in there. That's frustrating. If these guys, are they resting? No, they're not. Just rest. So if we can get 4 or 5 hours rest into them, we could maybe then get them to move into the town. I'm really not quite sure why it's abandoned. It's saying it's too risky. I don't understand why it would be too risky. I should probably look into the manual. It probably says there somewhere why it would do that. Anyway, that's fine. We'll deal with that. Awesome. Holtmeyer is pretty much, yeah, Holtmeyer is there in Noville, which is brilliant. That is awesome. Koschenhausen's slowly moving. I suppose they are moving across tracks with motorized units. Primarily motorized units. 78th looks like it's stopped, probably for rest. Yeah, they're resting, right? That's understandable. Put them onto minimum rest though. I think I had it on minimum. Yeah, I did. That's cool. That's okay. Second Panzer, I think I'm going to move you guys up here just for the hell of it. And I think everything else can probably stay where it is for the moment. There's probably no real need to move it any closer forward. So Goodman's still moving actually, which is really quite good. So if we can get them into this area as well, actually probably day 5 and 6 looking a bit better than it did before. It's taking a little bit more time than I had thought, but if we can get all of those into position, plus if we can get the 92nd rested, the 77th Regiment rested, plus 3 battalions up here in this position up here, definitely I think I'll probably try and actually push 2 along this way. Leave 1 in this area, probably the infantry, probably the 1st battalion maybe. Do you know, maybe the paratroopers, maybe leave the paratroopers here, push these 2 battalions along this way. We've got Noville, so if we can get a couple of regiments here, push 1 maybe towards here to clear this area, then push a couple down towards Bastogne, and then we'll push another couple of regiments down towards Bastogne there. Try and push through. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Alright. I think it's probably time to end the episode, guys. I'm thinking probably running over the hour mark at the moment. So I think it's probably a good time to do that. And I'll play through the night. I may actually pick it up, given we've got a lot of movement happening during the night, I may actually pick it up a bit earlier than I have done the last couple of days. But I'll just see how I'll start playing through it, and if anything really interesting happens, I'll jump into the video and start showing you guys. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you enjoyed this series. Let me know what you think. Day and a half to go, or day and 3/4 to go. See if we can make our objectives. I think it's going to be close, actually. I think it's going to be a bit touch and go. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the series, as I mentioned, and yeah, I'll see you all for the next episode.